Um, I'm making this video because I believe there's a gender war, and I believe the gender wars begin because there was attacks on masculinity, calling masculinity toxic, saying boys will be boys are a toxic thing, and such and such and such. And I believe that's the beginning of the gender wars, allowing radical them honest to attack masculinity on a public platforms or on public platforms. And I think there's a new attack. I feel with the growing popularity of nerd culture, seeing that there's more people going into Marvel, cosplay, anime, and such things that was deemed nerdy, we have people coming into nerd culture who will be considered somewhat beautiful, either athletes, models, or just regular good looking people, right? Regular looking girls. I'm not saying everybody not good looking, just saying the people that was not into nerd culture. It seemed like it's growing, and everybody's getting into it in the stories, and now all have an open mind, deemed compared to what's in the past. And with that, we have the man of yesteryear. We have people from the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. You know what I mean? That's into nerd culture. And they're just saying that. And they seem to be like the gatekeeper of nerd culture because they feel frustrated that they were ostracized from society for being into these things. Right? That being said, it seemed to be a tactical pushback from the opposite gender of these men who experience being ostracized because they were into these things. And the opposite gender is trying to denounce their experience. So according to these men, they did not get girls or get attention from girls because they were into dungeon and dragons, dungeon dice, Magic the Gathering. So I'm saying mad different stuff. I'm mixing up my nerd culture. Star Wars, Star Trek, anything you can name it, right? They was into these stuff, and they were really into these fantasy worlds, and they did not get the girl. Girls were not paying them attention, and the girls were going for the guys who were more upkeep, right? And older or the more mature or not into these kiddie stuff, and life goes on, right? So they said experience, and they're getting a pushback as if their experience never happened. So when these guys are vetting, like, okay, when they going through this traumatic past of going 30 years, 20, 30, just not getting attention from the opposite gender and how it affects them, they're being shamed or acting or being told, nah, you didn't get girls because you were into these stuff. You probably never get girls because you stink, or you just didn't have swag, or you just juggly, or you know what I mean. So much shaming going on, and I'm like, yo, these people were generally ostracized because I know I've been there, I experienced it, and and now in their adult life, they feel like they got to get the bottom of the barrel or get what's left over, right? So these girls get to pick who they want, which is not the nerdy guys. Back in the early 2000s, from the 80s to the early 2000s. And you now, since nerd culture's popular and these people can openly express it, get to be the cleanup man. You can take care of their kids, take care of Tyrone's baby or Chad's baby. You know what I mean? Because you're fun, and you can be a fun dad. Whatever. And a lot of people they're getting pushed back, like, no, these girls never want you because you probably just was asking too much questions about. No. I was up in it, and girls was not into anime like that, and the girls that was into anime like that, they wanted the guys that was aesthetic, and that's cool, because when girls are younger, their preference are more, let's not say, yeah, just say girls, their preference are more on the aesthetics, and as they grow older and more mature, their preference go more personality, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You could pick whoever you're attracted to, but we feel like that's who you really want, right? And my experiences when I was younger, matter of fact, not when I was younger, in general, right now, my preference is dark skinned woman. I love me a chocolate Keisha from Belly or Baby Boy. You know what I mean? I love me some chocolate woman. And but dark skinned woman was not into it. And that's what it was. Light, I guess because of how they view the baby might come out and conscientious of whatever, and they would just have self doubt about them being dark skinned. So what I mean, back in the days it was wild. You know what I mean? So as I was growing up, light skin woman was the one that gave me play, and you know what I mean? And life goes on. I grew up in the adult, and then everybody grew up, and we just changed up, and the world grew up, and Obama has an old awakening Afrobeat and culture. I would get to love, you know what I mean? So I used to have a crush on this girl named Kay during high school, right? Let's call her Kay because I don't want to say names. And I used to be into the drama team, anime club, such and such, and Kay was in there with me, and we connected, and well, we just have a general interest, common interest, right? And so I thought she was a cat's meow, and I liked Kay. So for her 16th birthday, I did something so cringy. Oh, terrible. This sounds nerdy. I bought her birthday cake. I put 16 candles in it, and I play a tape of 16 candles because I think I got her a loan until I got her birthday gift, and gave her a birthday gift and I saved up my little money for her and bought her a little birthday cake and play her a tape, and she gave me a hug. So, high school passed, and, move on with our life, and so you're going to hear some noise right now. That's a garbage truck is coming, whatever. So, time passed, and, I was chopping up with my boy from high school, Mike, and we just sitting here talking about girls and experiences, and, we have similar experiences from a different view. And Mike, I come across this girl named Kay. I was telling him about Kay, and Mike was like, yo, you mean Kate from da-da-da-da-da? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I had sex with her. I'm like, word? For story purposes, Mike is Puerto Rican. And Mike was like, oh, Kay, she had a light skin fetish. And she was just giving it up to anybody who was light skinned. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Kay was gonna, like, it's not because when Kay just had, you know what I mean? And that pushed me back, like, oh my gosh, just because it's one little thing, but maybe because I was cringy, but like, she liked who she liked, and that sit with me. And this girl who I really, really like, now that I grow up, I'm looking back like, I would never talk to Kay. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to my way for a Kay. She's like, oh my gosh, no. She's a no, right? She's no, it's not, no, I'm not doing that for her. But like, this experience generally happened. For somebody to come and tell me, say, oh, nah, you must probably smell, or this and that, or try to attack me based on my experience, is going to push me into a defense mechanism where more guys like me who had these experiences growing up of not getting a girl are going to go to the Andrew Tates of the world. We're going to go to the red pill contents and such and such and such, and we're going to have resentment. Because when we try to vent our frustration and experiences and our trauma to the world, we're getting negative pushback and attacks. And that is not right. And for me to see other young men now coming online and attacking these men when they say something that genuinely happened to them, I feel like that's wrong. Right? And when I say other young men, because girls are doing it, but then there's always simps out here that always are panda bears, always trying to pander to a woman's perspective, even though it's not their own perspective, just to try to get points with women that don't really like them. Keep it pushing, bro. Like, the worst thing in the world is for a man to attack another man to impress another woman. That's just to impress women that don't like them. That's not cool. I just feel like I want to make this short video, explain that, and hopefully when you see this video, if you relate to this video, you can comment, like, and subscribe, to help build the YouTube algorithm Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.